Tony D and Little Joan in the background, and this is a screenwriter's rant on Agatha All Along, the latest pooped out MCU television show, trying to piggyback off of a show that didn't seem to do well, starring actresses who I really like, but I don't know if they can make this show work. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books, links in the description. Comedy Horror in South Jersey. It's the Pineys, books 1 through 14, available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. So apparently they're trying to tie this into Halloween. Well, that's a good idea because it's witches. And Aubrey Plaza is always a pleasure to see. But Catherine Kahn is no slouch either. I like them both. But, big but here. Agatha Harkness is not exactly the greatest MCU character ever invented. In fact, she's not really meant to be a big character in the MCU at all. She's kind of a side character. Kind of a supporting character. Supposed to be an old weathered crone. So this is sort of a relaunch, I guess you would say, a reboot of the character that has so little to do with the comic. You gotta wonder why somebody in the meeting talking about the show said, wait. Why are we doing this? We don't need to tie the show to this comic book character. You're only making it harder to make the show. Do you understand? If you just make a show about witches and call it whatever you want, you think comic book fans are going to watch this? Oh, yeah, they love things. No, there's not a single comic book fan that I know. And I know many comic book fans. Let me tell you, I've been doing the comics for like 30 years. I've been going to shows, talking to people, one-on-one. This is in my wheelhouse. Witches, Jersey Devil, all that stuff. Is anybody crying out for more witches in comics? No. Not a single person. Not even the new fans are crying out for this show. No. The only thing the new fans apparently want is more woke bull. More woke BS, I guess. I mean, if you can even call them fans. I don't call them fans. I call them Twitterati. People on Twitter who say things like, oh, I love that. Anyone who doesn't love it, it's a bigot. Like, okay, Aubrey Plaza and Catherine Hahn, two very funny women. Put them in a room and say, ladies, you're very funny. Bring in your writers. Give us a show that we could put on, TV and Disney Plus that everybody will watch. And I promise you, Catherine and Aubrey both have their guys who work with them because Aubrey's a pretty big star. Catherine, not as big at this point, but I'm sure they have guys, talented people they've worked with for years who would go, yes, no problem. Years. They've both been in funny stuff. Yeah, some of it would be their boyfriends and husbands and sisters and cousins, whatever. Doesn't matter. It's kind of works that way in Hollywood. But instead, what does Disney seem to keep doing all along? Oh, we've hired this very diverse cast, and we've hired a very diverse crew, and a very diverse this and that. So therefore, voices based on a comic book we've completely ignored. Like, why even call it this? To lure, the only thing you might do is lure in a handful of comic book fans who go, oh, maybe I'll check that out. And they check it out and go, yeah, this isn't the comic book I read. Yeah, I didn't think it would be, but I thought I'd just peek in to see what it is. Oh, yeah, this is nothing like I've read, and it sucks. Because they're always going to say that. How many times do you have to fail at this before you get it through your thick Hollywood skulls that people hate that? That people hate it. They hate it. They hate it with a burning passion of 1,000 suns. Now, if you want to go for the new fans, whoever the hell you think they are, a bunch of pink-haired weirdos who cry about diversity, okay, go for them. But there's not enough of them to fill the writer's room you people inhabit. There's not enough. But okay, go for them. Go for the pink-haired weirdos who have enough money to have Disney Plus and complain on Twitter all day and, I don't know, work at Starbucks in Seattle or Portland somewhere and talk about how we should all end capitalism. Do that. Because I'm sure those pink-haired commies aren't pirating the show the thousands of ways people can pirate television and movies these days. I'm sure they're paying you, big corporation Disney. The only way to make a TV show good is to make it good. To hire people who are talented. Why is this so hard now? When I was coming up trying to break in, the kind of people I was up against were genuinely talented many times. Now, yes, there was a couple of nepotism things going on, and I saw that, and I said, oh, man, that sucks. That guy got a job because he's so-and-so's nephew, or he knows people. It happens, sure. But overall, when you're talking about a real show or a real movie that the studio actually needed to make money, they hired people who were insanely talented. So much so, it was breathtaking to see them leave the show and then go do something else and find out they were 1,000 times better than you possibly imagined. Evidence? I'll give you evidence. How about half the cast from Saturday Night Live over the last 15 years? Chris Rock on Saturday Night Live sucked. Then he left Saturday Night Live, biggest comedian ever. Insanely huge. Chris Elliott kind of went the opposite, take off to the stratosphere like it should have. Other people, victims of SNL in my view. But the talent was there. The talent is here. In the actors, at least 2 of them that I know. But the rest of the crew, this show has failure written all over it. It has bells and whistles. It looks like a Spirit Halloween threw up on the screen. And not a good one. And a little bit of Hot Topic here. The comic books they completely ignore. The one thing they don't ignore is the continuity for the best. The one thing you don't ignore in the comic is, well, we have to acknowledge it. They got to tie it in to Wanda Maximoff. She dead, by the way. Who shouldn't. Well, that'll surprise everybody. And, then we can't use her anymore. Because you know what you could have done? And this is just a crazy idea. You could have spun Wanda back into a show with Agatha in it. Fortunately for MCU people and Disney, you could do some insane thing like they used to do in the comics to explain that, oh no, that wasn't her fault. It was actually some evil duplicate from an alternate universe or whatever. Good luck selling that, by the way. But the WandaVision show? Honestly, who the hell even remembers it at this point? I remember it because I knew instantly upon seeing certain things in this trailer, oh yeah, that's from Wanda's show. The WandaVision show. Okay. So you brought the character, you spun off a character from a show that really did, for what? That was Division come out. 1 season, came out, done. Now, it makes 0 sense. It tied like 50 years of television. I don't know how it got a 7.9 rating. People liked the first few episodes, by the way. But by the end of this, big problems. Big problems. So yeah, and they're doing a Vision show too. So they're going to bring back him somehow. Because, they're comic people. They'll just watch anything. The show has to make sense. I don't know why you've done this. The title of the show has changed like 5 times. 5 different times. Why even use her? Why even make it from a comic book? Why not just make up, even if you wanted to tie it in to Wanda. Let's say you had, I don't get you. I don't get you at all. You've got this grand, it's like somebody at Marvel has this grand scheme of things that an insane person mapped out, and they just keep following it. And it has to have DEI and certain actors and certain themes and events and stuff. And I'm just like, what? So would I watch this show? No, I don't have Disney Plus. I wouldn't give Disney 10 cents. Like if Disney said tomorrow, for 10 cents, you could watch Disney Plus free for the rest of your life. We just need that 10 cents. I'd say no. No, thank you. Now I have a friend who has Disney Plus. Will I go over to his place and watch it? No, I will not. He won't watch this show either. He's one of the biggest comic book guys I know. Agatha Harkness? Agatha Harkness? You people are nuts. You could make a cool show about witches. If you knew anything about witches, which from this trailer you appear to know nothing. So I guess the witches that might tune into this might go, ooh, witches, and then watch the show and go, that's not how witchcraft works. What is this show? Oh, they took it from a comic book. Yeah, women love witches, by the way. They love witchcraft. They like the whole idea of it. They, it's one of those roles that they like to imagine themselves in as a witch. But, you're taking it from the comic book that they didn't read. They definitely didn't read it. Oh, the women didn't read comics at all. Not the era that this character's from. Is there any new comics that they're reading? Oh, no. Who's reading new Marvel comics? No one I know. And I go to comic book conventions. They buy them. Do they read them? They have no idea. The only time I see people read comic books now is when they're on Twitter to say, look at this piece of crap. So why support this at all? Why? Who is this for? Is it for kids? I don't think so. Because I don't think pretty much anything Disney produces anymore is really for kids. If I was a parent, I would be like, what the hell is this show? Yeah, I don't think I want my kid watching this. If you're a grown adult, I don't know why you would watch it. Grown adults tend to like more grounded reality. Now, again, a handful of people might be into witchcraft and stuff. Well, they know that world. The ones that know it, like me, they know that world. They'll take one look at this and go, well, that's not the world I know. They're not tying it into anything cool. They just got a bunch of hot chicks in robes. Not even that hot chicks. A bunch of old women, quite frankly. Most of the women in this are old. Okay, rant over. So, Agatha all along. Again, very entertaining actresses in it. I have no hope. No hope for this. Oh, there's something I had hope for. Futurama. Let's read the write-up. This is a TV show, so I don't have a plot synopsis. But here's the experience. Now, experience the two-episode premiere of Marvel's Television's Agatha All Along. September 18th, only on Disney+. Stars Catherine Hahn, Joe Locke, Shahir Zamata, Ali An, Maria Dizia, Paul Adelstein, Miles Gutierrez-Riley, Okwu Okapo-Wassel, with Deborah Jo Rupp, with Patti LuPone, and Audrey Plaza. So Audrey Plaza is not going to be a regular. It's with her. The executive producers are Kevin Feige, Louis D'Esposito, Brad Winderbaum. Who cares about these guys? Mary Liovanis and Jack Schaefer. The directors for the series include Jack Schaefer, Rachel Goldberg, and Ganja Monteiro. Again, sounds very diverse. But you know what I missed in all this? The synopsis for the plot of the show. The Halloween season, Agatha Harkness returns. That's not a plot. That's just a statement of fact. You've told me everyone that stars in this, who's directing it, who's producing it, no, not a single bit of info on why they're in it at all or what's going to happen. Let's look at Agatha All Along. Let's see if there's a synopsis here. Set after the events of WandaVision, Agatha Harkness recruits some unlikely allies on her quest to regain her former powers. Okay. Is that something we thought was important? Is it important that Agatha, a character people barely know, get her powers back? For what purpose? She wasn't a particularly good guy in the world of comics. So she gets her powers back to do what? Do you not think past the pitch? All right, I'm done. Yeah. I gotta calm down. Because I rant about the MCU Star Wars stuff, and it gets me so friggin' aggravated. And if you're thinking like, oh, you're an old comic guy, you just hate it. No, that's not why I get aggravated. I get aggravated because for me, this is easy. To script a good show for one of these characters would be easy. Be the easiest thing in the world. Are they doing it? They haven't mentioned the plot of the show. She's gaining back her powers. It's not really much of a plot. On a quest to get her powers back. For what? For what? Like if it was she's on a quest to get her powers back so she could save her son from the underworld. Oh, there's a story. There's a story in that. Like, why are you doing this, Agatha? I have to do it for my son. Great story. We'll love it. I mean, that didn't happen in the comic, I don't think, but I mean, they don't seem to be following the comic, so why not throw in something? To get back her dog even would be a good story. Like her favorite kitty. Like to save someone other than herself, you narcissist in Hollywood. All right, I'm done. I'm done with this. I'm done with this show. Please stop making these shows so I could stop looking at these trailers, Disney. And that's it for me, Tony D and Little Joan. Remember, it's just my opinion, so just settle down. Back tomorrow with more videos. Coming up, Valenzano Winery 5 to 7 on Friday. Moods Farm 10 to 5 on Saturday. I'll be at Pirates and Mermaids in Bridgeton, New Jersey at the Dragon Shop Sunday from 10 to 5. And the Margaret Dombrowski Swedesboro Public Library on Monday next week at 6:30. I'll, of course, be doing my talks on how to hunt the Jersey Devil. Hope to see you there. We'll see you